Today on DNVR Buffs Live, Coach Prime kept it very real in the press conference today. We get into that, some great recruiting news, and much, much more.
Buff Nation.
Let's go.
Squad. Coming to you live from the Toyota Lounge, driven by your front range Toyota stars, is DNVR Buffs Live. Another week, TCU week. Oh boy. Does that get you fired up?
It does get me fired up, man. It brings back some great, fantastic memories. And yeah, I need those. I need those in my life.
I can't wait to experience it. Never been down there to Fort Worth.
Oh, you're gonna love it.
That's all I've been hearing, bro. And I'm just so excited to get down there and experience that. It's supposed to be hot, I heard, this morning. Mm-hmm. So that'll be interesting. But that's what you expect when you go to Texas.
It absolutely is.
Today on the show, a lot to get into. We're gonna go back to the NFL Buffs. It's been a minute. Check-in on them. Colorado gets slapped with a fine from the Big 12.
Yeah, they did.
We'll discuss that.
We are going to discuss that. All right. Let's do it.
Big recruiting weekend. I mean, obviously the loss sucked and everything to do with the game really sucked, but Colorado recruiting is heating up big time, and we had some very notable players on campus last weekend, recruits on campus last weekend, I should say. But let's start with the Coach Prime presser. I mean, he kept it pretty real. We'll talk a lot about, the young players and, of course, the whole team and the offense playing better, but we'll start with this one because Coach Prime was asked straight up, like, what can you do better to help the team? Coach Prime answered that. He obviously talked about what he's seeing from the team and what they need to do better as well. But here's what Coach Prime had to say about that.
I want them to play like their life is on the line, like their careers are on the line. Like the payment for a car is on the line. The payment for a home is on the line. Like they have children depending on them, and some do. I just want them to play with full intensity and passion. And when you walk off that field, you look back and say, I gave them all. That's all any coach wants. That's all I desire. I don't want you saying, I wish I could have, should have. I want you to look back over your shoulder. I asked the kids a question. I'm trying to remember the question I asked them this morning in the morning meeting.
Underachieving or
Yeah.
overachieving?
Just a simple question. There's only one answer or the other. Are you underachieving or overachieving? That's it. Consistency. I hope you weren't thinking I was going to drop names, right? Consistency. What I've been saying since day one. We need consistency.
Ron Scholes from Rocky Report. You spoke a bit after the BYU game about how the cornerbacks need to be better.
Yeah.
They're going against an offense that is pretty prolific at airing out the football. What's your message to those cornerbacks going into this week?
Play ball. Play ball. Everybody in the country going to know you. Not for the right reason. We challenge our guys every week to play the game play by play. Forget the last play, let's go to the next play. That's the life and the thought process and the mindset of a good cornerback. But let me tell you something about good DBs. And I want everybody out there listening to this, this is coming from him. A great DB is only 95%. Let me say this differently. 95% of defensive backs play not to get beat. 5% play to make a play. I'm looking for that 5.
So Coach Prime was asked also how he could be better. He said, be more demanding. I want to see what I want to see, and we're going to do it over and over again until I see it. He also added, to get more, you've got to give more. I think Coach is obviously taking what's gone on the last 5 weeks pretty hard, and he is taking accountability and blame. I know people like to think that he's just like passing it on and not saying it. If you actually listen to what the man says and listen to the press conferences, he takes a ton of accountability for what's going on. So,
yeah, absolutely. And I mean, like when he talks about playing and leaving it all out there and all of that stuff, I think it's one of his greatest challenges as a coach is to try, how do I get people to play the way I did? How do I get people to prepare the way I did? How do I get people to care the way I did? And anyone who's ever worked with other people or started a business, that's honestly probably the best metaphor here. Is like, you start a business, you're a head coach. Mm-hmm. This is your thing. It's your name attached to it. It's your vision. It's your dream. And then you're inherently going to hire people or recruit people who you have to try to get to buy into that at the level that you do. And it's almost an impossible task to get everyone to buy in at that level. Yeah. But the more people that you can get to care as much as you do, the more successful that you can be. And when it comes to football, caring there's a very fine line. Everyone wants to win.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks that they're doing their part. But when you're Coach Prime and you're someone who impacted every game the way that he did and prepared the way that he did, like, it's a different level of commitment to doing it. And so you have to also teach guys that even if you think you're doing it, you might not be. Like, I don't think any of these players want to lose. I don't think any of these players, are just at CU to put on the jersey and like talk to some girls.
Right.
Like, these guys want to go to the league. They want to win. And there is, like I said, it's Coach Prime's ultimate challenge to get guys to understand that maybe not all of them, but some of you might think you're doing enough, but it's not enough.
100%. And I think specifically when he's asked about those cornerbacks, he talked about it after the game that they need to be better. He obviously was asked about it today, and we heard the sound there. And I think he was maybe trying to send a public message to those guys in that room, like, listen, we got some dogs coming in here or going to face in TCU and Fort Worth this weekend. Mm-hmm. Eric McAllister, if he's healthy, Jordan Dwyer, a really good quarterback next week, Rocco Beck. After that, some really good quarterbacks that you're going to face. So this cornerback room, and I think it probably personally just irks Coach Prime a little bit, that the position that he played, the position that he was the best ever at, his guys just aren't living up to that standard right now, especially in a game last week, right? When you go up 14-0 and you're facing a true freshman quarterback on the road, like, that's the type of game that you would expect, that you would want your secondary to kind of flex its muscles. Yep. And that's not what we saw on Saturday night. And we didn't hear this from Coach Prime, but you mentioned it right after it was played when he was asked about how he can improve. And he goes, be more demanding, correct? That's what he said?
Yep.
And I think that is a great answer and response, and I hope that's what he is doing. He said that is what he has been doing the last couple of weeks. And when he said that, this quote from Coach Prime after the game on Saturday stuck out to me, where he goes, when I asked him about the run game and why they kind of went away from him in the second half, he goes, you have to do what you're not just capable of doing, but what you're having success with. If we're having success running the damn football, we have to run the ball. We can't just drop back and sling it just because we want to come here and have more balance. And 24 rush attempts in the first half, only 13 in the second half. And most of those, a few of those were probably passes that were called where Caden just scrambles and it's, charted as a rush attempt. And again, that just doesn't really make sense to me. And hopefully Coach Prime, when he sees, and he's talked about it, he said it today, offensive line, not a problem. Our running game is not a problem. And I hope when it gets to a point where Coach Prime sees in a game things slipping away from an offensive standpoint, he gets on the damn horn, run the damn football. We're running the football. That's what we're doing until we can't do it anymore.
Yep.
And obviously when he says stuff like that, people are going to listen. And I just hope he uses that a little bit more on game day. Because, again, this is a team that can really run the football.
Yeah.
And if you want to get to where you can this season and make the most out of the season, that's what this offense's identity has to be.
Yeah, and I mean that's the frustrating part.
Yeah.
Is Colorado's now 2-3, heading into kind of a buzzsaw area of the schedule.
For sure.
And there's been 2 really big opportunities left out there. There's 2 post-game shows that I crashed out on because I felt the opportunity that just slipped away. In college football, you only get 12 of these.
Yeah.
And the Georgia Tech one was more stomachable because we knew who Georgia Tech was coming in.
Yeah.
And it's a non-conference game. Then, you lay an egg against Houston. Okay, it's a conference road game. Those things are going to happen once in a while. And then the BYU one is like, now you've put yourself way behind the 8 ball. When you combine the BYU and Georgia Tech, it's like 2 home games where you had a chance to win and you were in control of the football game for a certain period of time.
Yeah.
And you let those opportunities slip away and you just don't get them back. And with the way that this schedule is built, things only get harder now. You could have bought yourself a little bit of wiggle room over the next few weeks that doesn't exist more. So, I was emotional, speaking almost solely from the emotional part of my brain on Saturday night. Very little logic, but it's because I saw what was there.
Yep.
What this team could be, how close they are to potentially, being 4-1 right now. But you find, 4-1. But you find yourself at 2-3 with with nothing but an uphill climb ahead. And it's just frustrating because in that game specifically, there's games where a team will go score on their opening drive and it's kind of a fluke.
Yeah, totally.
Look at the Bengals-Broncos last night.
100%.
The Bengals didn't cross midfield the rest of the game after they scored on the opening drive. That happens because you script it all week and you go out there and do it. But the Buffs went out there and they scored on the first drive, and that looked great. They went back and did the exact same thing on the second drive and kind of just like were in full control, dominating the football game.
Yep.
And like you said, from there on, kind of went away from what was working.
Yeah.
And unfortunately let it slip away.
Yep.
I want to get y'all thoughts on ask y'all a question. Should I ask something inside this break?
Yeah. Let's take our first break, and then we'll get back to talking it out, man. Shout out to our homies over at Common Spirit. Common Spirit Health. They're more than just hospitals and clinics. They're a team of passionate and expert caregivers dedicated to your well-being. Look, man, again, you don't need reminders for this. You should have got your reminder back in, what was that, early August, late July when Coach Prime shared his health struggles.
Early August.
Go get yourself checked out, man. And our friends at Common Spirit Health can help you do that. Whether it's a routine checkup, managing a chronic condition, or responding to an emergency, you can trust Common Spirit to deliver exceptional care close to home. Experience the difference compassion makes. Find a Common Spirit location near you and discover a new standard of health and healing by visiting mountain.commonspirit.org. Common Spirit Health, official healthcare partner of the Denver Broncos.
Also, shout out to our new friends over at Dick's Sporting Goods. I mean, you guys know who they are. They are the place to go for the hottest apparel and footwear from top brands like Nike, Adidas, and so on. And there's one other brand that you can now find behind the doors at Dick's Sporting Goods, DNVR. We got our stuff over at Dick's as well, so you can see some of our favorite designs that we have there. But I was actually there yesterday getting ready for the Broncos game, and it was crazy just to see how many people were in there that were going to the game looking for Broncos gear to suit up for. And they had great Buffs gear in there too. I don't know if you guys noticed, they've updated the gold on the jerseys to now reflect the shiny gold on the actual uniforms. So I appreciate that. They've got those available over at Dick's. But really, it's the go-to place for your sporting goods. And you can get it fast with free curbside pickup at your nearest store and easy shipping from Dicks.com because every season starts at Dick's.
Hell yeah.
Quick
What's your
question for y'all.
Yeah.
Do y'all find any solace in the fact that Colorado's 5 opponents so far that they've played this year have a combined record of 18-3. 18-3. Does that do anything for y'all? Does
Not
that
really,
make you feel
to be
better
completely
about?
honest.
You said what?
So not really.
Okay.
To be completely honest.
So, solace. It's an interesting word. I would say it.
The reason
No.
I ask is, and that was kind of what I expected y'all to
Yeah.
say. That's kind of what I expected y'all to say. And the only reason I ask is because it's not like, take Houston out of it because they laid an egg, and Coach Bryant even brought that to, like, they just didn't come to play that game. But the reason I ask is Georgia Tech is a top 15, 20 team, you know? BYU is a top 25-ish team, and you lost to those 2 teams by a combined, I believe it is 10 points. And obviously you would like to come out on the other side of that, but you were in both of those games, and you, depending on who you ask, you probably should have won both of those games, and maybe that's what makes it more frustrating. But I think, you know, last year going into the season, people were like, this is a brutal schedule for Colorado, and then it actually didn't turn out to be that brutal. And I think the opposite might be true this year, where people are like, the schedule is kind of shaping up nicely, but it's like, actually, you're kind of, at least to start, playing a lot of really good teams. So
You want to know why it doesn't bring me solace?
Yes.
What was the number you said?
18-3.
Do you know what the record of Colorado's next 4 opponents is?
Next 4,
Yep,
18-3.
15-3.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, yeah. But
15-3.
that's what I'm saying though. Like this year, that schedule is like where it might just be really difficult. And again, that is an excuse. You know, dropping a couple games and whatnot. But when you're playing some really talented teams, you got to be buttoned up for 4 quarters. Coaching staff, execution wise, all of it. And if you're not, you lose a 3-point game, you lose a 6-point game to a top 25 team.
Yeah. Not to harp on Saturday too much, but like, I think that was the most mad I've been after a CU game. Like, I've been sad a lot. I've obviously been happy a lot.
Yeah.
And I was trying to think about why was I so mad? And it's twofold. First of all, the obvious, success breeds expectations.
Yeah.
This year, after last year, like, everyone wanted to see this program build on what they've done. And my guy Tyler Ziskin made a good point. I can't remember if it was a text or a tweet, but just saying, like, our program has had a hard time building on a successful year.
Sure.
Right.
So that's one thing. But I think the other thing is a bit of a lost perspective that goes against that, which I think I and many other fans are guilty of, which is like, it was bound to be a transition. Like, transition years happen in sports all the time.
Yeah.
And when you combine that, Scotty, with what you're talking about, which is a very difficult schedule. I think it was ranked as like the 4th hardest schedule in the country right now. When you combine transition, which doesn't always have to be a bad thing, but it is different. Transition with a schedule like that, I think we might have been able to, had we known the difficulty of the opponents, to see it coming a little bit more. But then I go back to the other side of it, which is like, you were that close.
You had it.
You're that close. We're so close to people talking about CU in the same conversations that we're just talking about all those teams: Georgia Tech, Utah,
No
TCU, you know, Houston, BYU, like, couple plays here and there, and they'd be right in there. But the amount of changes, and especially losing Shedeur and Travis, makes it more difficult for this team than some of their opponents.
I mean, it doesn't make me feel better, because when you say that, and especially when you consider the losses against BYU and Georgia Tech and the margin of both of those losses combined, that just shows it's clearly on you. Like, those are you issues. Like, you clearly have the talent, have the coaching, have all the pieces to make it work, but it's not working.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like that does nothing for me, because I've already figured at this point it was on them, and that just drives the point home even more so that, you know, it's clearly there. And that's what I think makes it so frustrating this season so far too, is because obviously besides Houston, they laid an egg, as we've said, but especially last week in the Georgia Tech game, I mean, those games were completely there for the taking.
And
Both games, we said they were blown opportunities.
And I wonder if it's just a part of this team having to learn how to win. Like, Shedeur knew how to win. Travis knew what it takes and what it took. And like, this team, you know, leadership has been brought up a lot. And like, the player-led leadership, you know, doesn't really have a lot of experience winning at the Power 4 level. You know, I mean, that's kind of a byproduct when you're transfer portal heavy and when you rely on some young guys. But that's, I think, kind of part of it too. It's like this team just doesn't really know how to win just yet, or they don't know how to close. Because again, when you look at both situations, Georgia Tech tie game, you get the ball with 6 minutes left, and you punt the ball in a minute and a half, and Georgia Tech does what a winning team does. Yep. They go down and score and win the game. BYU, you have a 14-0 lead at home. You give up 17 unanswered. You know, BYU did what a winning team does, even with a true freshman quarterback. So I think that's part of it too. Like this team, and maybe all it takes is just one game, right? Maybe all it takes is just one game to get a win against a good team, and they're like, all right, we kind of figure something out here. But until you get that moment, until you get over that hump, this might be where we're at. Well, you know?
And it's so interesting because, you know, the Broncos have now played 4 games. And it feels like their season's just starting. Yeah. And it's such a difference between college and pro. But one of the things that Benny was saying on the postgame show last night was like Sean's starting to find a rhythm, and he's starting to realize what works for this team. Mm-hmm. And that feels like totally fine. Right. It's like, okay, they're 2-2, and they have 13 more games to play.
Everything in front.
That's more than the Buffs' entire season.
Yeah.
So it's like Colorado's now going into week 6, and maybe we are starting to find the strength of this team, which, at least to me, on those first 2 drives, sure seemed like running the ball and like using that weight up front to push people around. But in certain senses, it almost feels like it's too late already.
To some people, that's certainly how they feel, you know? And I can't necessarily blame them for that, because when you're 4 games or 5 games into a 12-game season, you kind of are what you are at that point of the year.
I mean, you're almost halfway through.
Exactly.
Yep. So I don't know. It's just interesting.
Ironically, the one major positive this team has, though, is the offensive line. Coach Prime spoke about that today in his press conference. What have you seen from that offensive line so far this year?
The O-line is not a problem. I think running the ball and pass protection is not a problem. I don't know the grades. I really don't go by that stuff or what they say. I don't know who PFF is. I don't even know who they are, where they located, who started them, who's the founder, who established it. I don't know. But I know all our kids are pretty darn good on that offensive line, right? One of the best, excuse me?
Top 10.
Top 10. It says a lot. That's not the problem.
I asked Jake earlier this when we were reacting to this, and I didn't really expect an answer, but I asked it anyway. If the offensive line isn't a problem, and the running game isn't a problem, and the receivers are very talented and explosive, what is the problem? You know, and these are just the questions that come to my mind when I hear Coach Prime say what we already know, right? The offensive line is good. The running game, even down 2 of their top 3 running backs, was effective. Yeah. The receivers are dogs.
I wish you guys could have seen the look that I gave Scotty.
Me too.
So you know why he started laughing.
I can't believe you just did that twice, bro.
That's just where I'm at, you know? And shout out to the O-line, though. Shout out to Jordan Seaton, the highest graded tackle in college football. In my opinion, the best tackle in college football. Mm-hmm. The interior of this offensive line, guard, center guard, with Zarian, Zai, and Xavier Hill has been really good. And I mentioned to you earlier, like I saw some of the BYU media folks talking about that when they were watching the film. Like Colorado's interior offensive line gave BYU's defensive line some real work in that game on Saturday night. But the result is 21 points, and that's unfortunate.
Does anyone have the data on the success that we had running out of the Wildcat?
No,
no, not right now. But
I mean, we know that Draylon averaged over 6 yards per carry. Was it?
I mean,
or 7?
His first 3 carries. After his first 3 carries, he had like 31 yards. He was averaging 10+ yards a carry, and then the 3rd carry was the touchdown.
Draylon averaged 6.5, 8 for 52 and a touchdown.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, credit where it's due. The way that they got into those Wildcat sets, was actually a stroke of genius from Pat Shurmur and that offensive staff.
For sure.
I loved it because you didn't give the defense opportunity to adjust to it, right? Because you lined up like you're going to snap the ball to Caden, then you shift out of it and you snap the ball to Draylon. It was clearly such an advantage for CU that they could not, like, BYU could not stop them
No.
11 on 11 in the run game.
Colorado can't stop that when teams do that to them. It's
it's-
almost impossible to stop.
Yes, yeah, exactly. The Dolphins making it famous beat the Patriots when they had no business
Exactly.
being in a game with them.
Yeah.
Because it's so difficult to go 11 on 11 like that. And so, yeah, the downhill nature of this line is clearly the strength of this team, but they're also doing a great job pass protecting.
They
as
really
well.
are.
So there's opportunities out there. Like this game against TCU, I feel like everyone's already punting on it, but we've been, at least I know I've been on the other side when a team can run the ball successfully.
Right.
I mean, we saw it. Let's just go back to Kansas last year.
Yep.
For sure.
Colorado, the one of the best air attacks in the country. But Kansas goes out there and runs the ball successfully on you all game. Same Kansas State, a little bit different. Kansas is a better example. But they go out there and run the ball so successfully on you that you keep them off
Then
the
you
field.
can do, yeah.
There's nothing to do. And then all of a sudden, every drive becomes worth so much more. So, like, this team actually can become that team.
Yeah.
You know, people want to talk about Caden Salter can't throw. Well, what was everyone saying about Jalen Daniels last year?
Yep.
But when you can run the ball that successfully, it makes everyone's job on the offense easy. And what's interesting is, gosh, I can't remember who it was, but someone I was watching a preseason video, and they said, like, I'm not confident that Colorado can just change their identity overnight from being an air raid team to being a run-first team. And they were right.
They
Like,
were.
It's really hard to just flip it overnight. Like, you have all these great receivers out there. You want to get them the ball. You have a lot of good stuff going for you on the outside. And for whatever reason, I just think it's hard to just flip your mindset. Even watching the Broncos last night, like, they probably could have just run the ball every play the entire game.
Yeah,
Sean Payton
probably.
cannot stomach it, man. He wants to air that thing out.
Gotta try some things out.
And so, yeah, that to me, if I'm looking for my hope for the rest of the season, is like, can you make that transition
You're right.
to being a team that believes and hangs their hat on the fact that we're going to go out there and physically dominate you, and we don't care how good your defense is or how good your offense is or how our defense is struggling. We're going to keep them off the field because we can run the ball, down your throat the whole game.
Facts.
Let's take our next break, and then we'll wrap up pressers.
Shout out to the squad over at Game Time, man. Shout out to Game Time, man. They are really the best. And
You used Game Time last night, didn't
sure
you?
did. I was thinking of how to say it. I was at the Broncos game last night for a Broncos dub. And Game Time helped me out, no doubt. And they could certainly help you out because this is the best time of the year, man. It's NFL season. It's college football season. In Game Time, they know what's up, man. Zone deals, you can save so much more when you choose a section and let Game Time choose your seats for you. You check out your seats with a panoramic view from your seat in the app before you even buy your ticket. And of course, with Game Time's ticket coverage, your purchase is covered with the most flexible customer service policy in the entire ticketing industry. So take the guesswork out of buying college football or NFL tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and use code DNVR for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply again. Create an account, redeem code DNVR for $20 off. Tap, ticket, go. Download the Game Time app today. And actually, use that code BUFFS. Use code
Yes,
BUFFS,
use the code
BUFFS, for $20 off. Shout out to Game Time.
Also, shout out to our friends at Taco Bell, just the homies, man. Shout out to them for showing up to the tailgate, all spirited.
Hell yeah.
Just
Fresh as hell.
those guys, they might be bigger Buffs fans than you, bro.
Sheesh, they might.
They're real ones.
But shout out to Taco Bell for real, though. I mean, you can go they got some Decades menu stuff back there. What did we try today, by the way? We'll get to that a little bit later.
Bro, I can't wait to tell you about
Okay.
it. Have you? No, we'll talk about it.
Okay. But yeah, you know what it is. Nothing's better than a Buffs box after a game. Did you have a sad Buffs box on Saturday?
Yep, I did.
It is still
Still
hit the
hit.
same, though. Yeah?
Still hit. There was a line, bro.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
Wow.
When we got there, it was
At what time was that? Like
I don't know,
2 a.m.? Wow. That's crazy.
But anyways, shout out Taco Bell. Head over to your nearest Colorado Taco Bell and get yourself a Buffs box. That's $7 for 4 Taco Bell classics, plus a large drink with a CU Buffs player collectible cup. Taco Bell is also a proud sponsor of CU Athletics and will be donating $1,000 to the Golden Buffalo Scholarship Foundation
Nice.
for every touchdown scored.
Help him out there, Scott.
I got you.
You got to get more of a flat angle. There we go.
Shout out Taco Bell. Buffs love the bell. Live Moss.
Squad.
Buffs do love
I've
the
never
bell.
had that happen.
That's why.
I've never seen it happen mid-show.
All right. So going back to Coach Prime's presser, Scotty and I talked about this yesterday on yesterday's show about leadership and everything going on with this team. And today on the podium we had London Merritt, true freshman, Michael Welsh, true sophomore. Tawfiq's up there, keeping it 100% real after the game on Saturday. And so, I mean, we talked about it yesterday. And I brought up the thought of some of these young players got to start stepping up because, as you said, we might be in a transition year. And why not speed up that transition by having those young players catch on? So I asked Coach Prime essentially that, if he's seeing leadership emerge from these underclassmen.
That's tough. Let me tell you why that's tough. When you step up and you step out and want to claim that leadership position, that puts a target on you because you got a ball. Because one thing about these youngsters these days, they're going to call you out. In front of the coaches, not in front of the coaches, in the privacy and in the cafeteria, the locker room, whatever. So a lot of guys these days are reluctant to step into that role because they're going to be held accountable. And I like that. I don't want nobody playing with that. When we put an L on your chest or a D, you earned it. You deserve it. You earned it 100%. And we know we could count on you on Saturdays, unequivocally.
That's facts. And it's reminded me of when we had Reggie Hughes on the pregame show a couple weeks ago, and he talked about new guys coming as transfers. It kind of takes a little time to establish yourself in the locker room. You got to prove it on the field before you can act like a vocal leader or kind of be outspoken from that perspective. And that's just what it is. And I love to see London Merritt up there on the podium today.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The young
Micah
bull.
too.
Micah as well, exactly. The young bulls.
Yeah.
It's time. I think it was London who had the quote today, they don't do seniority here.
Yes.
You're not playing or getting anything just because you were a senior or a junior or whatever. You get what you earn. And that's the way it absolutely should be. But I think I want to see more of Alexander McPherson. I want to see more London Merritt. I want to see more Quinn Gibson. We're almost at that point in the season again. It's not punting on the season by getting your young guys who you believe in some extra experience and some time when it's obviously time for it.
Yeah. What I want to see, though, is those guys not being afraid of what Coach Prime was talking about there.
Yeah, embracing it, going to
exactly.
take it.
Yeah. I don't care if I'm 18 years old and you guys are going to hold me accountable. I believe that I'm going to go out there and ball, and that's why I'm holding you guys accountable, but that's rare.
Yes.
It's very natural for any situation. When you're the newcomer, you got to figure out where you fit in.
Yeah, for sure.
First and foremost. And then over time, really with your play, I think you can earn the ability to be that leader. But, when you talk about trying to turn around a season, those are the types of things that can turn it around.
Yeah.
Is someone in that role stepping up and saying, I don't care anymore. I'm taking leadership.
Yeah, I mean, it's clear that I think the program's trying to push a lot of these underclassmen, the freshmen and the sophomores, kind of usher them as gently as they can into that because – you see it with the playing time, obviously, on what's going on the field.
Yeah.
The role that Quentin has. Quanell gets in the game late last week. We obviously know the edge rushers are going crazy right now, too. So, and there's more. There's so much young talent.
Yo-Yo's a young guy who's been getting some good run and making the most of it.
Yeah.
Jordan Seaton. You know what I mean?
Totally.
So... And I hate to because we talked about this yesterday and we mentioned it already today, but I hate to bring up the transition year thing, but that's kind of what you do in these transition years. You kind of just pass the keys or at least, get some much needed experience that is just not going to be available down the road because, this time next year, it's just on those guys.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just, it's expected of them. What is happening here today? Jeez.
What actually was
I don't know. What is that?
Must have been a microphone.
Anyways, last thing from pressers.
Wait, really, I want to expand on that though.
Okay, yeah, go for it.
I think it's going to take a minute before Coach Prime feels that way, and he's just not built like that.
Right.
Like, he is a guy who, when he came here, said like, "Y'all want to win now, right?" Mm-hmm. So that's the way he's wired.
Yeah, for sure.
And who can blame him? Like, as the ultimate competitor, it's hard to say like, okay, I have to start thinking about next year. And I wouldn't blame him if he says it's too early for that right now. Like, it is you could win this weekend and be at 3-3.
Yeah.
You know, and change the narrative about your team entirely, because everyone loves them some TCU. So if you were to go on the road and beat them, it would change the narrative. So like, I wouldn't blame someone like Coach Prime for saying it's not that time yet, but it is. If things were to continue to go down this path, it will eventually become time for that. And like you said, 4 games of experience is exponentially different than 0 games of experience.
Totally. Yeah. I mean, yeah, 100%. Like, coach is never gonna say like they're giving up on a season or anything. I get it, and we're not even there yet. Like, I still think you can go into TCU and really like take it to them and compete this weekend. Like, this is far from a perfect team. If you watched last Friday's game, Josh Hoover completely fell apart.
That was weird.
You know, Eric McAllister,
really
who
You
knows?
talk about blowing a lead in a heartbreaking fashion.
Exactly. Yeah, totally.
17-0.
Bigger lead. Yeah,
Totally.
17-0.
So it's just that, I mean, you just got to be real with where your roster's at in terms of, you know, what you have coming up, what you're trying to get coming. I mean, Sedarian Morgan's the top recruiting target. Like, it's clear that Julian's the future. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that it's balancing. It's a really tight balancing act right now between going out there and winning and actually, you know, conceding. I don't want to say giving up, but like conceding that your goals may have passed you by this season.
They got to win one of these next 2 games. I said it to you yesterday. We talked about it yesterday. They got to win one of these next 2 games against either TCU or Iowa State. You'd love to win both of them. Those are 2 good teams. You got to win one of the next 2. And if you don't, I think you spend that week 8 bye week preparing Julian Lewis for his first career start. I think that's where you're at. And I think that's pretty simple. You win one of these next 2 games, you're obviously not where you want to be, but there's something to potentially build on going into the bye week. But you go into the bye week 2-5, it's time to turn the page.
I mean, totally.
Well, and, you know, again, success breeds expectations, and I think the expectations changed leading into this season. But making a bowl game in consecutive years would be a huge step forward for Colorado.
100%.
And, you know, like, not people nationally probably won't understand that. But off the top of my head, I can't even remember the last time that happened. But I would guess it would be like 2003 and 2004.
Right.
Wow.
So, yeah.
Wow.
Like, that would be a massive step forward for Colorado. So, yes, you do want to keep the future in mind. Those goals are important as well. But that is still a really important goal to try to achieve this season.
Yeah, 100%.
And to your point, if you win one of the next 2 games, it's very much still within reach.
100%.
All right. Last thing from today's pressers is about money. Sam Pittman got fired at Arkansas. I mean, that's crazy right now, that whole coaching search thing. But
And then the AD comes out after and says that he didn't have the resources to win, to compete.
yeah,
How does that
Wild.
happen? How do you do that? How do you fire somebody and be like, well, he didn't.
It wasn't his fault.
Wasn't it right? Like, what the hell? That's crazy. That would have
It
pissed
is
me off
crazy.
if I was Sam Pittman.
So yes, it was a relevant topic, which is why Coach Prime was asked today whether he feels like he has the resources to compete, and I feel like he gave a great answer. Here he is.
You can't blame it on that. We've played good football except for one darn game. You know, Houston was horrible. Okay, we didn't play well. The other 2 games, we had an opportunity to win those games. I mean, to win those games against ranked opponents.
Sure.
We just didn't get it done. We had opportunities. 10 points, 2 ranked opponents. That game was decided. Both those games. So we can't cry. We don't have the money. It's not that. It's just at the conclusion of the season, when you look back on things, when you look over your shoulder, you're going to see what we said. And that media day, some of the top teams are going to be there. And this is the commonality that they share. But it's some great coaches out there coaching way above that, you know, and prayerfully that don't catch up with them. But I'm happy. I'm thankful. I'm not going to cry broke just because we dropped that. Money had nothing to do with those 2 games that we dropped. Thank you, my man.
Great
Thought he
answer.
nailed that.
Accountability.
Yeah,
For sure.
The same stuff that people are asking for.
exactly.
Especially the part where he's like, there's plenty of coaches around college football who don't got that top tier budget who are doing some damn good things.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't go hand in hand. If you got money, you're going to be good, or if you don't have money, you're going to be bad. It just doesn't work that way.
I mean, it helps, but it's
it
not
certainly
everything.
helps.
Yeah,
Exactly right, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'd love to see what our record would be right now if we spend as much roster as much on our roster as Texas Tech
I
did.
mean, of course, but
Yeah.
But he's also right in the fact that they played 2 ranked teams, went down to the wire with them. By the way, that team you played last week, their budget's a lot bigger than ours.
yeah, facts.
So it's weird
Yeah.
because we talk about it all the time in pro sports. It just hasn't gotten there in college sports yet. But it is. I mean, the place where it's talked about the most is baseball.
Yep.
No salary cap. The richer you are, the more you can spend, the more you can win. That's what we're in college football right now.
Yep.
But I respect Coach Prime for not using that as an excuse and making the point that, like, a couple dollars here or there wouldn't have made us execute this or that
Exactly.
differently. And maybe you'd have a better player to do it, but you still had the opportunity to do it, and you already proved that you could compete with those teams.
Yeah. I mean, I don't really expect him to say otherwise, but that sounded like a very confident coach, confident in the talent and players he has in the locker room, purely from a talent standpoint. You know what I mean? Like, It's obviously execution. It's, just locking in the leadership. That's another big one, but just locking in the little details, doing everything right by a play-by-play basis.
Yeah, and I think he's right for that. I remember one of my first press conferences I was ever in at CU. Someone asked the coach, like, do you have the talent that you needed to win? The answer was very obviously no. And he said, who on this team would you buy a jersey of? It was a crazy retort. But he was like, we don't have stars. We don't have superstars. Who would you buy a jersey of? And we've come a long way from that.
For sure.
So again, I have a lot of respect for Coach Prime for not, as he would say, crying poor.
Yep.
Totally. That's it from pressers today, though. London and Micah did get up on the podium. Micah gave a great answer when asked about TCU. He was obviously in high school when that first game was played, but he basically said that game's pretty much the reason why I'm here. And so I haven't said this in a while, perspective, right? Just go back 2 years ago, what people were saying about this team, what people thought about this team, especially just going into that TCU game. And where we are now, I mean, it's an ocean between them pretty much. And so I think someone just said DNVR is giving up in the chat. Like, we're not giving up. Like, we're just kind of analyzing the situation. But also, like, this is the week where, like, you've got to, like, just feel it in your chest. Like, this is why you came to this university, was because of when these guys in this uniform were on this field and did what many people thought was impossible. So it's just, I don't know. It kind of sucks because I feel like this week should be more. We should be more hyped about this week because of that. But
the parallels are kind of interesting. They went into that game 20-point underdogs, 21,
23.5.
23. They'll be 13, 14-point underdogs this weekend. And for very different reasons, people think that Colorado isn't going to beat TCU this weekend and do what they did. It's going to look different.
Sure.
Very much different, but it's very much possible for this team to pick up a massive win on the road and play well on the road, something they haven't done at all yet this season, actually.
What do you go for it? Go for it.
We have to take one more break, and then we'll get to RK's question. Shout out to the homies over at Toyota, man. Shout out to RK's Toyota as well. You've taken care of that thing, my friend.
Thank you.
Runs like a dream.
I love it with all my heart.
I mean, it put Toyota on my car next car wish list. I mean, right up at the top, bro. When you come out to Colorado for a home game, remember, we got what, 4 of these left?
4 home games left. I think that's right.
Yeah, so we're going to have a bunch of people still coming out. Make sure you get in a Toyota because that's the only way to see all of the beauty Colorado has to offer. Not only can you get around safely and efficiently on all the highways and roads out here, but you can easily transition to going up into the mountains with that 4-wheel drive or all-wheel drive available with their 17 models. They also have 16 different hybrid vehicles to choose from, like the Tundra iForce Max Hybrid. And, of course, their SUVs. You can explore the road less traveled without sacrificing smooth city rides in SUVs like the RAV4 and Grand Highlander. Visit your Front Range Toyota stores at a location near you. AutoNation Toyota, Arapahoe and Centennial, Corwin Toyota in Boulder, Groove Toyota in Littleton, Mountain States Toyota in Denver, Stevenson Toyota East in Aurora, and Stevenson Toyota West in Lakewood. Toyota is a proud partner of CU Athletics and the official vehicle of DNVR. Let's go places.
Also, shout out to our friends over at Ent Credit Union. For those of you who don't know them, Ent is the largest credit union in Colorado, proudly serving communities all over the state. And they are also the official banking partner of the Denver Broncos. And they have the Broncos checking account for those of you Buffs/Broncos fans. And it's loaded with all sorts of perk, including every 15 swipes on your Broncos checking debit card gets you a chance to win home game tickets, and it's also 10% off food and gear on game days at Empower Field. It's pretty sweet. And then no surprise fees. So if you're ready to bank like a Bronco, head over to ent.com/DNVR. That's ent.com/DNVR to learn more. Insured by NCUA, membership required. Account requires associated Ent Broncos debit card.
You were going to ask something.
Yeah. Who bears the most responsibility for finding a way to win this game against TCU? Because I know my answer.
The quarterback.
Yeah.
That's my answer. The
Okay.
quarterback, you got to have the best quarterback on the field that day, I think.
And Hoover showed it's. I mean, look, when he's on for sure. But if that guy is struggling at all, he's a very Caden Salter can go toe to toe with that guy.
Yeah.
If Josh Hoover is struggling at all again.
And TCU defense leaky, to say the least.
100%.
Yeah, but you led me to my point, which was you have to find a way to make Josh Hoover uncomfortable.
Yes.
And so to me, this is a Robert Livingston game. This is
I could see that.
This is a quiet your doubters type of game for Robert Livingston, because he's got to come up with a game plan that challenges Josh Hoover more than I think we've done to the opposing quarterback so far this season. There's been a bit too much of making it easy on them when I don't think that our talent on the defensive end has held up to those game plans.
Right. I mean, look, so not to get too much into TCU, but it's going to be kind of like a fine balance, I think, because we heard a lot about them playing more zone this year as opposed to man, right? We haven't really seen that so far on the field. I think you can see more of that in this game, though. Josh Hoover is probably the least athletic quarterback you faced so far.
He can
maybe
run,
Caden Anderson.
but you're right.
It's between the two, though. I'd be very shocked if they just put him back there and they run, QB power and stuff.
Yeah,
you're going to
they're
try
not
and
doing
air it out. It's a big test for the secondary. So, yeah, you're going to be able to get after him, I think, with 4. If you can, win one-on-ones. Again, that's been a little bit of an issue too. But I think you can mix up more zone coverages and do more to confuse him in the back end this week than you have been the last 4.
That's what I was getting at, is like you've got to find a way to make Josh Hoover uncomfortable. Figure out whatever the hell ASU did to take him from incomplete control of that game to completely out of control of that game. And I don't. If you try to just go man straight up against this receiving core and that quarterback, it's not going to be pretty, I don't think.
Definitely. You wanted to tell us about Taco Tuesday?
Yeah, Taco Tuesday was fire. Have you had the crispy cantina chicken taco?
I think I just did, actually.
Bro.
Yeah.
Wait, I don't think did you have it upstairs?
I have one of them that was
No,
upstairs.
you didn't have it because I ate all of them.
That's great. He go ask you if you had it, knowing damn well he ate all of them already.
No, I didn't. I knew he didn't have it today. But he's the one who brought up the cantina chicken menu to me.
Yeah.
True,
I tried to tell you guys about that months ago.
So yeah, check it out. This was a Taco Tuesday today.
Oh,
Taco Tuesday, baby.
make it rain.
Whoever
I'm
brought the
so-
sauces today, exact perfect amount of sauce. Not too much, not too little.
Nailed it.
We're talking cantina today, Dre.
That's right.
I want you to try it all because I've already tried this. I have no shame about that. I've already had all 3 items today. I have fallen in love with the Cantina Chicken Crispy Taco that you're about to try. I'm instantly adding this into my Taco Bell order, which hasn't been changed in like 20 years.
Wow. That's
So,
big.
Give it a try.
Okay. I'm diving right in.
How about that slow roasted chicken in there?
And that's still crispy. You've got the melted cheese on here. A little fire sauce to the mix. Look at that. Beautiful little grill marks for you.
This is legitimately,
Oh, I was hungry too.
this is unbelievable. I'm not even having the other items. Not that they aren't good, but they only brought us 3 of these. I'm taking 2 of them. Sorry.
We're gonna try the Cantina soft taco as well. Oh,
Give it a try.
got a little spread in here.
Yeah, you
A
got
little radish.
some fresh cabbage.
Cabbage. That's what that is. Yes. Radish. Silly me. I
Yeah.
know what a radish is. Hell yeah.
Fresh, huh?
Yeah.
So,
Completely
another thing,
different vibe.
never changed in my life the sauce that I put on my Taco Bell. Always been a fire sauce guy.
Yeah.
They have this avocado verde for the Cantina menu.
Yeah.
Absolutely delicious. Got some liminess to it.
You're a big lime
I
guy.
love lime. Lime on just about anything is good for me.
Okay, I gotta try the burrito too. Burrito time.
Try the burrito before we get out of here.
Yeah. God, that looks delish.
Look how well grilled that is.
That hits. Oh man, power ranking these is tough. I think crunchy, burrito, and the freshness of the soft taco.
They're all good. Happy Taco Tuesday.
Shout out Taco Bell, man. Let's go to the touchdown tracker as well, real
Yes.
quick.
Hell yeah.
We're up to 17 touchdowns on the season.
Touchdown. Touchdown.
Nice bait, mate.
Oh my god.
Yeah, so we're up to 27,000. There you go.
Got 5 more. Touchdown.
Let's hope they get that cranked up. We got to hit Diablo ASAP.
What's been your favorite touchdown of the season so far? I go first if y'all need some time.
My favorite touchdown of the season?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I think it was this past weekend. Caden Salter, after Draylon was in the backfield getting BYU fits in the run game, they run kind of the zone play action, get Draylon up the seam. Like, that was beautiful.
That reminded me so much of the touchdown he had against Kansas last year.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. And that was another reason why I'm like, yes.
Yep.
Like, that's what we talking about.
Yeah.
Like, getting your players in position to do what they do best. Like, again, Draylon is working in the run game. Get a counter off of it. Get a play action pass off of it. That's exactly what they did. I love to see that. It was beautiful.
Yeah. There actually were some really good things done on the offensive side of the ball in that game. It just didn't all come together.
Nope.
You have your pick?
I have my pick. It's kind of depressing, though.
Go ahead.
My pick is the first touchdown of the season. Caden Salter did a Kalen Taylor. To go up 7-0 on Georgia Tech just because the hope was so palpable.
The vibes were crazy.
Everything was still right there.
I'm a tie. For personal reasons, the O touchdown. Just because he's my guy. He's
that
a
was
dog.
nasty.
But it's the sincere touchdown, the peel up against Wyoming, I think it was.
That was beautiful.
That's just Colorado football right there.
Hell yeah. Especially with Caden in the back of that.
Yep.
Hands on hips. Just watching
Totally.
Sincere running the
That
end
was
zone. That was
fire.
sick.
All right. We still got a lot to get to today, actually. Let's talk recruiting. And this got minimized clearly by the game and what happened with the game on Saturday. But, man, the Buffs are heating up, and they had a premier visitor there. Met Coach Prime. 2027 5-star quarterback Kavian Bryant came on his official visit. He's from Westwood High School in Palestine, Texas, 6'1.5", 180 pounds. Currently the 35th overall player in the country for the 2027 class, second-ranked quarterback. I think Rivals actually has him as the number 1 quarterback.
They do.
And Sam Spiegelman wrote up on Kavian Bryant after his visit. Kavian Bryant said, after being on campus and getting to be around the coaches and staff, being in that atmosphere, they are high on my list. It's exciting to know that they believe I'm a good fit. Coach Prime told me that I'm his type of quarterback, and that he loves my mentality and my poise in the pocket. I thought that was pretty cool coming from him. Meeting with Coach Prime and his staff was probably the highlight. The atmosphere of the game was great, but unfortunately they came out on the losing side. The energy was amazing. Prime is always transparent and will shoot it to you straight. My parents really respect that about him, and we love how he puts the emphasis on the quarterback in their offense. Coach Prime has been through it before, not only as a player, but as a coach and a dad as well. Everything went well, and we had a nice time. The people at Colorado showed us a great time. And shout out to the students also, by the way, because on the Colorado Hill,
Go ahead.
the turf hill, they had like cutouts, like player headshots of the recruits.
Nice.
And so right before the game, I'm like, what is going on the hill over there? And it's just all of them taking pictures with their photos. So shout out to them for, they know ball. They were tuned into the recruiting side of things.
Yeah.
Badass.
Hell yeah.
That's a great idea.
That's sick, though. I mean, Kavian had a lot of family there. He seems like a really family-oriented guy, and obviously that's who Coach Prime is. You know what I'm saying? And Bryant is just a dog, bro. This past weekend, 12 of 12 passing, 325 passing yards down there in
Video
Texas.
games, bro.
Video game stuff. He's a dog, and it's let's perspective, right? Use your word.
Yeah.
Having the number one quarterback in the class
So big.
here in Boulder, Colorado, for an official visit, it's massive stuff.
By the way, I had the number one quarterback in the class here last year.
Yeah,
And the number one quarterback in this year's class is actually already on the
Facts.
team.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Perspective.
Yeah.
I got a new follower on Twitter this weekend, by the way.
Are you going to share who it is?
Who's that?
Kavian Bryant.
Go crazy. Hell yeah.
He was, he had a great time, it looked like.
That's
Hell yeah.
awesome.
And he really embraced being in that atmosphere. I mean, he said it in the quote there. Even though they lost, it sounds like he really enjoyed it and was, dare I say, impressed. So we'll see. Obviously, 2027 kid. He's a year plus away from anything really major happening. I mean, maybe in March or April, something else starts to build there. But yeah.
Well, and this is like the normal cycle.
Yes.
For quarterbacks. Like you would get this, you would hopefully have Juju for 3 years, and then he goes to the NFL, and then Kavian Bryant starting as what, a redshirt freshman or redshirt sophomore?
You said who?
Kavian Bryant.
Juju and then Kavian.
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah. Yep.
In other recruiting news, Brayden Allen, the former Tulane commit, was at the game on a visit. He decommitted when he got back home. I believe this was yesterday or Sunday. He's also taken an OV to Oklahoma this season, but clearly Colorado was building in his recruitment. Quick words from him. They really treated me like a priority and made it known to me that they don't only want me, but they need me over there in Boulder. So we'll see on him. He's clearly a big target for them. We had Deacon Schmitt at the game.
Deke.
Oklahoma
My
commit.
guy.
In some services, the top-ranked player in Colorado for this recruiting class. I mean, he told us when we talked to him in the summer that he was going to come out for a game. So I'm not necessarily surprised, but things could get a little interesting for Oklahoma with John Mateer being injured, and who knows what happens after that.
For sure. I said it once, I'll say it again. You know what rhymes with Deacon Schmitt? Decommit.
It was good seeing Big Deacon out there on Saturday night.
Yep. Colorado's also going to get an OV from 2026 three-star wide receiver Kai Meza. He's from Utah.
Why is redshirt sophomore crazy work?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's crazy work, bro. Crazy work.
He's also scheduled visits for Cal and UNC. He's also going to K-State later in the year as well, but Colorado gets a visit the next home game against Iowa State.
And he just decommitted from
There you go.
Minnesota.
Yes, thank
Mesa
you.
did.
Actually, it could be redshirt freshman. Sorry, going back to that. So it would be next year would be his senior year of high school, right?
Yes.
So that would be Juju's first year starting.
He'll be a redshirt
He'd be a
freshman.
redshirt freshman.
And then he'll be a redshirt freshman. Then Juju would actually, after the next year, which would then be Bryant's freshman year, would be eligible to go to the NFL if he wanted to.
Yeah, because he'd be a redshirt
Right.
It'd
sophomore.
be his after his third year.
Yeah.
So it feels weird for this fan base because we're not used to having one elite quarterback on campus, let alone 2.
Yeah.
But all of these other schools are stacking these guys.
That's what programs do.
Yep. Caleb Morris was at the game.
Yep.
He's the Mississippi State commit that we've also discussed here and there over the past few weeks and months. 6'4", 250-pound defensive lineman from Mary G. Montgomery in Semmes,
Sure.
Alabama.
Sure.
But yeah, momentum's just picking up with this recruiting stuff. I mean, look, I know there's a lot that's going on with this team right now and all that, but I don't think the recruits' perception has been negatively affected too much.
Yeah.
And clearly, the admiration for Julian Lewis. I mean, a lot of these guys, again, this is his class. You know what I mean? Like, so getting guys like Brayden Allen, the wide receiver, in, and there's what's his name, Hamilton, the Pitt commit. Like,
Yep,
they're
Brian
in on
Hamilton,
him.
yep.
They're still trying to get after Sedarian. You know what I mean? Like,
A couple running backs too.
yep, a couple running back. Like Tomlinson was there this weekend, right? The
Yep.
Louisville
Like
commit.
Tompkins. Yep.
Or Tompkins from IMG Academy.
Yep.
So, yeah. Talk about the fine.
Yeah. Did we miss an overtime call?
Yeah. Do you want me to do that? No. Okay. So let me pull this up here specifically. Coach Prime mentioned at the very, very end of his press conference today, and clearly, I mean, I saw some shit leaving the game on Saturday night, just walking up to the press conference room. But the Big 12 has fined the University of Colorado, $50,000 for inappropriate chants that occurred during last Saturday's game. Big 12 Commissioner Brett Yormark issued a statement. BYU also issued a statement, but no, that's the situation. Any thoughts?
Well, also now, did you say Rick George issued a statement?
I did not see that. No.
Yes, he did during
Yeah.
the show. But we don't need to read the statement.
Is that a picture of you, bro?
I can't tell, but it looks like it.
Here's what I'll say about this. First of all, expecting CU to like control 12,000 students
Right. Yeah.
is completely unrealistic. I don't know what people want them to do. Also, CU students chant F, insert whoever they're playing every single week.
We got it for Wyoming, and we definitely got it for GT.
Yes. Where it crosses a line and becomes not acceptable is when you're targeting a religion. Mm-hmm. And obviously, you know, with BYU, that's the case. So I understand why action had to be taken here. Like, there has to be a line drawn there. But this is just college students being idiots. What else is new?
Yep.
Yeah. So I don't envy the people who had to go and make public statements about this stuff, because it's like,
Right.
what are they supposed to do?
Right.
You know, it is what it is. But there's definitely a line there. I think chanting F Georgia Tech is fine. Chanting F the Mormons is not. That's too much.
Why
That's
didn't
too
they just
far.
say BYU?
That's what they started
Well,
with.
they
actually.
did, and then they took it to another level.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Well,
So yeah, it's I don't know. I've been seeing this stuff. It seems like every year there's dozens of student sections who get reprimanded and fined for something they did. I mean, this is going all the way back to when I was in high school. I remember stuff like this
Right.
happening. Like, you get a bunch of kids together, you involve alcohol, they're having, you know, a good time, they're trying to look cool around their friends. Like, you know, things get out of hand.
so Virginia was fined $50,000 by the ACC for their fans storming the field.
They trampled players.
Should that be the same penalty? 50,000 for what?
Look, they're both slaps on the wrist.
Exactly. 50,000 is
Yeah.
literally just you could pull any number out of the air. It doesn't mean anything. It's more the conference having to say, like, hey, this isn't okay. Hopefully stop it from happening.
Yeah.
The
Yes.
next place, I'm sure the next team that hosts BYU will probably like send out an email before the game that says, like, we condemn any chance. Like, you know, it is what it is. It's
Totally.
It's not a great look, but CU fans have never claimed to be classy. But that one did cross the line. So let's just walk it back from there.
Yep. Well said. Lastly, NFL Buffs. In news today, right before we went live, the Browns are going to start Dylan Gabriel, it sounds like.
One more step away.
Soon. Very soon.
That time is coming.
But yeah, what was on your guys' mind? Travis Hunter and the Jags. I mean, the Jags are somehow, 3-1?
3-1.
And they
Winning.
look like the worst football team in the league at times.
It's actually a great point. Come on, I said, did Texas Tech get fined for throwing all that stuff at CU? I actually don't think they did.
Probably not.
The fact that he called it taco bread's hilarious.
Yeah, that's
So-
crazy.
First off, it wasn't just taco bread. They were throwing legit trash at CU, too.
Yeah.
It's just, once they ran out of tortillas,
Yes.
the actual term, they just started grabbing anything they could find.
Yeah.
That's actually, well, we don't have to get into weighing the actions of students, but
NFL.
that's actual people could get hurt from that.
Yes.
Shador time coming. Shout out to Jimmy Horn Jr.
Yes.
Set to make his NFL debut Sunday. He will be active against the Miami Dolphins. Panthers obviously got some injuries at receiver, so we're going to see Jimmy Horn Jr. make his NFL debut this weekend. That's going to be exciting.
Let's go, man.
Hell yeah.
I was going to add something else. Oh, shout out to Zay Weaver, too. He's just, it's clearly that he's gaining more and more
Yeah.
trust. This last week, he was, he just had the one deep target, but he keeps on showing up in like those big spots. And the Cardinals have offensive issues going on right now with the quarterback and
I saw him
much more, but
get like a massive defensive pass interference
Yes,
call against
yes,
him, like
exactly,
draw one of
yep,
those, which
yep,
is obviously a big
totally.
play, flip the field. So yeah, the more he gets out there, the more they're gonna have to keep him out there.
yep.
I wish they would give him a different number though. I ain't gonna lie.
89? I feel like it's a really good receiver number.
Yeah, in like the early 2000s, I feel like. I don't know about that anymore.
It clearly reminds me of Steve Smith, but it's got like
exactly.
I don't know. It's just like that's the chippy wide receiver number, man. Like they can still
Yeah.
do all the wide receiver things, but you better not, if you're going to talk to them, you better bring it. That type of thing.
How about Travis's blocking?
Hell yeah.
What are they doing?
What?
Throw him the football more.
Well,
bro.
okay, sure. But, I made the exact same point last night, and this is a little bit of a difference between Travis Hunter and Pat Bryant. Like, Pat Bryant throws an amazing block
yes.
for Marvin Mims that sparks a touchdown. I'm like, that's how you get more targets. That's how you get on the field.
Yeah.
And I think it was just later in that game they threw him a fade ball. Like, these guys are football players after
Facts.
all.
Sure.
And Travis Hunter is the definition of a football player. He loves the game, and he did all the right things last year. He en route to winning the Heisman, and people talking about them force feeding him.
Yeah.
He's also blocking his ass off out there on screens for LeJonte and
Yep.
in the run game when they decided to run the ball. But I just love that from Travis. I just love him showing to people that like he's everything.
Yeah.
He really is.
It just makes me sad. One, because he's on my fantasy team, but two, because I know what he's capable of, and it's just I don't know if we're ever really going to get to see it this year on offense.
It is weird for a team that struggles on offense to not just have like 40% of their plan be how do we get this guy the ball.
I think part of it is they found something that's working, and it's Travis Etienne is like kind of having a resurgence.
Playing well, yes.
He's playing really
very
good.
well, yeah.
And the other guy, the rookie Tootin, looks good too. They literally just traded away Tank Bigsby because they're like,
Yeah, it was right after week 1. I
yeah,
think.
we're like, we actually like what we got here in the running back room, and it seems like everybody expects them and wants Trevor Lawrence to be the number 1 overall draft pick that was taken there, and with 2 stud receivers, like they want that to be the identity of the team. When it's like, remember Liam Cohen came from Tampa, where they were
Right.
one of the best running football teams in the NFL, with Rashad White, with Bucky Irving breaking out last year, Sean Tucker even in the mix. Like Liam Cohen knows how to scheme up a run game, and he's having success with that right now. And I think that's the biggest reason why we haven't seen Travis, and even to a lesser extent, Brian Thomas Jr. really take off so far this year.
I mean, yeah, I feel better because Brian Thomas isn't doing much either.
Exactly. Just not really.
Trevor Lawrence has to step it up.
Yeah.
He just has to.
But it's funny. I mean, I assume Jags fans are probably like, keep running the ball.
Yeah, they're
Sure.
3-1.
Yeah.
And
they're clearly
just like we're saying, like, yeah, we have these great receivers, which we do.
Exactly.
But running the ball is working, so stick
Exactly.
with it.
They look like the best team in that division right now. I mean,
That's, well,
it's not saying a lot, but
Colts are looking pretty good too. I know they just lost, but
yes, they did.
it's a tough football team.
I just don't believe in that team.
Anything else today? I think that's it.
I think it is.
All right.
All right. We'll be back tomorrow. You're gonna get Know Your Enemy.
Oh, super chat.
Oh shit, super chats. It's been a long show. Been a long day. Ijoma Barbecue. Are y'all having a Dallas tailgate or anything before the game?
We're not having a tailgate, but we will let you know what we're doing.
There you go. Don Peasy. Shout out to Don Peasy. Always supporting, man. Always showing up in the chat. Prime once stated that real NIL is businesses paying players to represent them based upon merit. Shador and Trav earned real NIL, and effort showed. Many guys are paid before taking a snap, and effort also shows. I mean, that definitely plays in.
Problem across the sport.
Exactly, yeah. That's not an exclusive problem, but that's a systematic problem that we're trying to figure out. Don Peasy again, though. I'm for paying players. How they are paid can influence effort on the field, in my opinion. Why be accountable when the checks often aren't earned? 100%. 100%. I mean, Coach Prime has said that. Coach Prime has said, we're able to pay you. We're expected to treat you like professionals.
Yeah.
We should be able to fine them. If you don't show up to a meeting, that's a fine. You know what I mean?
For sure. But in all things in life, like, you're going to reach a time when you're being compensated for what you do. People who are good, or I should say great, or even good at those things, don't just say like, okay, cool.
Right.
Like, I got some money. I don't have to work anymore.
Yep.
And so that's just it almost makes the evaluation easier for the NFL.
Sure. Totally.
Because they're weeding out guys early who are like, oh, that guy, once he got the bag, was going to stop working.
Yep.
Appreciate you, Don Peasy. Okay, for real this time, we are out of here. We will be back tomorrow. We have more pressers coming. We're going to have Know Your Enemy in the next couple of days as well. And we'll see y'all then. Let's go Buffs.
Let's go Buffs.
Squad.
We all silly like the mayor.